For 40 years, he committed over 50 crimes, yet he still lived among his neighbors, attended church, and raised a family, and no one suspected a thing. The monster was hiding in plain sight. His name was Joseph James DeAngelo, a former police officer, a man who knew exactly how investigations worked and used that knowledge to stay free for 4 decades. It started in the 1970s. Sacramento, California. A shadow began entering homes in the middle of the night. He did not break windows. He did not make noise. He studied his victims for weeks before striking. He learned their schedules. He knew when the husbands left for work. He knew when the lights went out. And then he came in. Between 1974 and 1986, this one man committed at least 51 rapes, 13 murders, and over 100 home burglaries across California. From Sacramento to Santa Barbara. From Ventura to Dana Point. He moved up and down the state like a ghost. Police departments in different counties didn't even know they were chasing the same man. He was given different names in different cities. The Visalia Ransacker, the East Area Rapist, the original Night Stalker, 3 different monsters, 1 man. What made him truly terrifying was his method. Before attacking, he would break into a home days earlier just to rearrange things, to study the layout. He would move dishes, open drawers, not steal anything, just learn. Then he would come back when he was ready. On the night of an attack, he would cut phone lines first, then enter through an unlocked window or sliding door. He targeted couples specifically. He would wake the woman first, hold a flashlight in her face, and tie her hands behind her back. Then he would go to the husband. He would stack dishes on the husband's back and whisper, "If I hear those dishes fall, I will kill everyone in this house." And then he would do what he came to do. He called his victims afterward. Sometimes months later. He would breathe on the phone. Sometimes he would whisper. He wanted them to keep living in fear. The crime wasn't enough. The terror had to continue. Detectives were desperate. By the early 1980s, task forces had been formed across California. Hundreds of suspects were interviewed. Polygraphs were given. Composite sketches were drawn. Nothing led anywhere. The man seemed untouchable. He seemed to understand law enforcement at a level that ordinary criminals simply did not. There was a reason for that. Joseph DeAngelo had been a police officer. He served in the Exeter Police Department and later the Auburn Police Department in California. He was trained in investigative procedure. He knew what evidence to leave behind and what to avoid. He wore gloves. He was careful. He was disciplined. And when he retired from crime in 1986, no one knows why he stopped. He simply disappeared back into ordinary life. He married. He had daughters. He worked as a truck mechanic at a Save Mart distribution center. He had a house in Citrus Heights, a suburb of Sacramento. He mowed his lawn. He argued with neighbors about small things. He was described as grumpy, quiet, unremarkable, just another old man living out his retirement. Meanwhile, the cases went cold. Victims grew old carrying wounds that never healed. Some detectives retired still haunted by the case. It became one of the most infamous unsolved crime series in American history. Then came DNA. In the 1990s, DNA evidence from the crime scenes had been collected and preserved. Technology was advancing. And in 2001, investigators were able to link the East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker, confirming what some had suspected. They were the same man. The FBI got involved. The case was officially reopened. But having DNA and having a name are 2 very different things. The DNA didn't match anyone in criminal databases. The man had never been convicted of a crime that required his DNA to be logged. He was invisible in the system. The breakthrough came in 2017. A new technique had been quietly revolutionizing criminal investigations, genetic genealogy. Scientists discovered that if you upload an unknown DNA profile to public genealogy databases, sites where ordinary people upload their own DNA to find relatives, you can trace family trees and identify unknown individuals. Investigators uploaded the Golden State Killer's DNA to GEDmatch, a public genealogy website. They began building family trees from distant relatives who shared partial DNA matches. It was painstaking work. Months of cross-referencing birth records, marriage certificates, obituaries, and census data. Slowly, the branches of the tree narrowed. The suspect pool shrank, and one name kept emerging: Joseph James DeAngelo, born November 8, 1945. Living in Citrus Heights, California, 72 years old. Investigators could not arrest him on genealogy alone. They needed his actual DNA, so they watched him. They followed him quietly for weeks. And on April 18, 2018, Joseph DeAngelo walked to his car and left behind a discarded item outside his home, enough for investigators to collect a DNA sample without him knowing. The lab results came back within days. It was a match, perfect, undeniable. After 44 years, the Golden State Killer had a name. On April 24, 2018, a team of investigators arrived at DeAngelo's home in Citrus Heights. He came outside wearing shorts and a t-shirt, an old man squinting into the daylight. They surrounded him. They told him he was under arrest. He reportedly muttered something under his breath, something small and defeated. He was taken into custody without resistance. The charges were overwhelming: 13 counts of first-degree murder, numerous counts of kidnapping and rape. Prosecutors sought the death penalty. The evidence was absolute. On June 29, 2020, Joseph James DeAngelo stood in a Sacramento courtroom. A courtroom that had been moved to a large convention center to accommodate COVID-19 protocols and the sheer number of victims and their families. He pleaded guilty to 13 murders and admitted to dozens of rapes. He was 74 years old. At the sentencing hearing, victims and their families were given the chance to speak directly to him. Some had waited 40 years for this moment. They spoke of nightmares that never ended, of marriages that collapsed under the weight of what happened, of children who grew up watching their parents flinch at shadows, of a fear that moved in and never moved out. One victim looked directly at him and said, "You thought you were so powerful. Look at you now." Joseph James DeAngelo was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He will die behind bars. He is now held at the California healthcare facility in Stockton. No more quiet suburban mornings, no more lawn to mow, no more ordinary life to hide behind. The Golden State Killer case changed criminal investigation forever. Genetic genealogy is now used by law enforcement agencies across the United States to solve cold cases. Dozens of killers and rapists have been identified using this method. The technology that caught DeAngelo has become a new weapon against the darkness. But here is what stays with you. This man was a police officer. He took an oath to protect people. And then he spent years terrorizing the very communities he was supposed to serve. He used his badge, his training, and his knowledge of the law not to fight evil, but to become it. Evil does not always look like a monster. Sometimes it wears a uniform. Sometimes it lives next door. Sometimes it mows its lawn on Sunday morning and waves at you from across the street. But no matter how well evil hides, time, science, and justice always find a way. Goodbye for now, and I will see you very soon in our next story. Until then, stay safe, stay aware, and never forget crime never wins in the end.